I received this email from Spain where someone says, I came across you on YouTube during an interview you gave about your experiences with Eckhart Tolle. His teachings have absolutely changed my life, and I feel like I'm finally leaving the prison that used to be my complete identification with my thoughts and old patterns. Although I am extremely grateful for everything, I have had some difficulty as I am 20 years old and now more than ever, I am having trouble relating with people my age. I have much different interests now because of my desire for peace, and it seems all my friends want to do is get drunk every day. I would be deeply grateful for any words you could share with me that could help me through this difficult situation. "20 years old is quite young to have this level of awareness itself, which is quite amazing. But the thing is that life is about relationships. Daily living means your relationship with others, whether it is your family, whether it is your friends, your colleagues, the stranger you meet, or even the beggar on the road. And the quest is to have relationships which are harmonious, to be comfortable with others and to be comfortable with oneself, or not to be uncomfortable with others and not to be uncomfortable with oneself. Now, supposing you feel that over time your understanding of life, the prism through which you view it, is changing based on teachings you have come across, books you have read. What does happen is sometimes you cannot relate to a particular set of people who were in your life earlier because there's a shift in your own awareness, consciousness, understanding. But it might just be social conditioning which makes you want to hold on to those relationships. So there's no harm in not wanting to be with the same set of friends anymore, unless you derive a sense of self from those old relationships, in which case you will continue sustaining them. But if you feel that I have new interests now which are not shared by this old set, that's fine. And the question is that as long as you can accept that they too are on their own journey as planned by the divine, so there's no resentment that they are like this, they get drunk every day, I don't. There's no judgment. They are who they are, how God made them, in the social structure and context God has placed them in. You have been now placed, your conditioning has been transformed in a certain way, how God has planned it, how the divine has planned it. So you move on. You might get a new set of friends, you might not, we don't know. But when there's a full acceptance of people for who they are, then the relationship is harmonious. Because you are not saying that I don't like who they are now and therefore I'm moving away from them. It just does not resonate with you. That vibration does not resonate with who you are today. So even this getting drunk every day is nothing but a relationship. It is the relationship of that person with alcohol. Here we were speaking of our relationship with people. There it is a relationship with alcohol. So And nobody is doing it deliberately. When there is pain, there is suffering. In the formative years, alcohol is something one takes to suppress that. The me, the identified me. We say people get high after having a few drinks. They are able to express themselves more because of that. So there's suffering in that instance, and in fact, it looks like the kids are having fun, people are having fun, but that's what happens in the formative years. They will find their own way out, the light will shine, and that's their journey. So one needn't feel guilty about not wanting to meet people one was meeting from the past, who were friends. It's not that you are withdrawing your friendship or you are doing something. See, again, it's a question of doership. The guilt will arise if you feel you are doing something by withdrawing. But if you allow the natural to flow, the river takes you away from where you are not meant to be, and you will flow in a direction where it is taking you towards. So, like we used to say, go with the flow like H2O. That's it. Accept others for who they are. Accept yourself for who you are. There's no problem. How people should be, that is where the problem comes. And then there are those who even give free advice. You should be like this, you should not be like that. Especially those on the spiritual path. Because they feel that their way is the right way. But that is again a subject-object split. I see myself as separate from you, so I pass judgment on you. Because you are an object in my sphere, in my manifestation, I am apart from you. So then I say, this should be that way, you should behave that way, you should not behave that way. Little realizing that I am an object in your consciousness. So we are both actually objects. But what I do is I play the role of pseudo-subject. I take on the role of the divine, of God, and say, this is the way things should be, how you should behave, how you should act. But little knowing that that is based on my own filters. My own conditioning is making me say how you should be. So there's no end to this. When the need for that drops, then you realize you have the total acceptance of everyone for who they are. There is no need, not even an iota of need to change someone. God knows best. Are we trying to play His role? So, let life flow like H2O.